Well, hello, and welcome. This is the first ever episode of the Chungus Cast, episode 0. So you're probably thinking right now, why am I listening to my friend Gif ramble on a podcast? He's not even that funny. I don't know why I'm wasting my time, but I told him I'd give it a shot, so here I am. Well, to answer your question, you are at the very beginning of what might be the most impactful podcast of our generation. I'm talking like Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. I don't think Da Vinci painted Van Gogh's Mona Lisa. And I want you to just enjoy the ride, because from here on out, nobody else will be able to say they were here when it all started, except for you. You were here before Gif and his friends became multi-billion-dollar internet celebrities from a stupid podcast they did every Saturday at 2 p.m. or whatever. And you knew them. You grew up with them, and you knew all these stories before they were recorded. So yeah, enjoy the ride, man. Also, by the way, you're listening to Liquid TV, a good friend's band. I was like trying to figure out how to do some get some good music on podcasts without getting like copyright strikes, and it's really difficult. And then I was like, wait, I have a really good friend who plays some really good music that is professional level quality. Just slap that right on there after getting his permission, of course. Shout out Jake and Liquid TV. And yeah, that's who you are. So I'm going to be promoting the absolute hell out of them, just, as recompense for using their stuff. Hopefully I'll get some other music on here. I don't really know. I'm just gonna have to like wing it week to week, but there won't be any copyrighted stuff, that's for sure. Additionally, I guess I should probably tell you a little bit about who you're going to hear today, as I should do every podcast. I'm kind of new to what I'm supposed to do here, but yeah. So today, which is not true because I'm recording this early because I'm so effing excited to do this, but yeah, today we're going to be hearing my good friend Alex and my other good friend Andrew, who we all knew each other from high school. I ended up becoming Andrew's freshman year roommate at Virginia Tech, and subsequently co-hosted a radio show with him. Later on, Alex I've just known this whole time, and we've remained friends throughout college and into our early 20s. But yeah, they're going to be, just shooting the breeze, which is I should probably stop rambling and tell you this podcast is basically about bringing my groups of friends together to do just that, to shoot the breeze and, set up really cool conversational dynamics, get the juices flowing, talk about, everything, sports, current events, maybe even politics. Please don't get scared. Anything. And just, share with you the great diversity of dynamics that all my friend groups share, and just see what, see the environment we can kind of create here. But yeah, Andrew has some conspiracy theories. I mean, I'm sure Alex will try and get in some music stuff. I think we all have movie reviews to go over. And of course, there will be a plethora of funny stories involving us. So yeah, let's see how this thing goes. And please let me know how I did. Good, bad, otherwise, the worst thing you can do is give me no feedback. So if you like what you hear, if you don't like what you hear, you want to hear something else, you want to hear something different, you want to hear more of this but less of that, you have to let me know. You can do that via my social media. The best way to reach me is Instagram DMs. I'm at @thegiff_. So THEGIFF_. But anybody listening to this probably already has my phone number, so just text me. And yeah, enjoy. Everybody, We're here. Alex just tried to steal the segment away and give me editing work, but I stopped him. I foiled his plan.
That was quasi-irony.
I gave him a fake countdown. Is Andrew here?
HB is here, good buddy.
Okay, Andrew, you got to be a little quicker, man. A little slow on the.
Sorry. Okay, I'll try.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, do we want to introduce ourselves? My name is Gif. I am your quasi-host, but like I said, I'm not trying to make this any sort of like real traditional podcast structure. I just want to kind of have all my friends together and just shoot the breeze and talk and converse as we normally would, and I believe it would be quite comical. So I guess we'll see if that's true. But yeah, I'm a law student at George Mason. I'm 24. I live in Fairfax. Yeah, that's basically all there is to me. I guess we have with me in studio is Alex Scruggs. Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, I'm Alex. I'm also 24, living in Fairfax. I'm actually the studio owner, fun fact for you. Happy to be on the podcast, happy to chat, and looking forward to seeing where this goes.
And also we have via phone, because of a reason we will talk about in a few minutes, Andrew. You want to introduce yourself there, buddy?
Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew. I'm a 24-year-old. I'm currently living in Falls Church, Virginia, and I work as a senior account representative. Actually, instead of sometimes when I'm in my dreams, I'm still in high school, but besides that, I'm the first thing.
I feel weird about having told my age. Do people care how old I am? I don't even care.
I don't think many people will be listening to this, so probably not.
Wait, okay, hold on. About 1 hour ago, we were all out at lunch, and Gift's talking about his plans for this podcast, and he told me, my only reachable goal is that we reach, like, number 50 on Apple's top comedy podcast, but all my other goals are unattainable.
That is not true. I did not say that. That was one of 3 goals I had.
Oh, sure.
And they weren't, I don't know, I just really want people to listen so that I have an excuse to put money into this, because like it'll cost about $24 a month if I want to do this. If I want to put out the amount of volume that I intend to put out, that's how much it's probably going to cost me.
Have you guys started to catch the show's magic number?
24. Hey, maybe we should just call it the 24 podcast or something. That's probably copyrighted. My other goals are to be like, to get enough notoriety where people who would not agree to come on the podcast now would in the future, because we grow or something. So like, I'm not talking like celebrities, not even talking about people that most people would recognize, but maybe like, I don't know, who's a good
local state office holders.
Yeah, something where like famous people that I know but not a lot of other people know, just because they're very niche or something, would maybe agree to come on. Like, I don't know, like a reggae band's lead singer or something.
Xavier Marley.
I guess, yeah. Or like,
can you talk about what might make this podcast notorious in the way that you want it?
I don't know. I guess we have very ironic and...
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Alex, if you guys will learn that Alex does not really like the irony side of our humor.
I appreciate irony as much as the next person in moderation.
But yeah,
it's gonna... you, ATB, all seem to be very ironic.
So yeah, I guess, I don't know, today I guess we have a bit of loose structure. I hope we kind of get into it. I think we're a little tense right now because we have microphones in front of our faces, so the conversation is not flowing as it normally would, but I'm drinking a little bit. Alex has refused to drink.
I did not refuse to drink.
Wait, here,
you said, Alex, are you sure you're not going to drink? And I said, no. As in, I'm not sure. I'm not going to drink.
Oh, okay. Just have a sip.
Yeah, he's handed me a Hell's Hefeweizen Natrube. Oh, this must be imported. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's in German. So.
Oh, don't like that.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Andrew, you drinking? Corona boy?
You're a lawyer, right?
Yeah. Well, not really.
Number 5.
Almost. Huh?
Number 5.
Yeah, he wants the number 5 combination,
You
shrimp fried
want to
rice.
plead the
I want the
fifth?
Fifth
It's not
Amendment.
illegal to drink beer, dude. It's not self-incriminating.
Oh, I think he's referencing FCC guidelines as if we're broadcasting.
We're not broadcasting. Andrew, just answer the
Right.
question.
If we were broadcasting over radio waves, we couldn't be drinking.
Well, we're definitely not.
I'm
You know
just
why?
saying,
We're not over.
yeah, we're definitely not broadcasting over radio waves. I know the FCC just as well as the next schmo.
Okay.
Except I probably owe them some money in back taxes.
I think he's
but
drunk.
That's another story.
Wait, how would you be incriminating yourself then? Let's go down this. What's going on
I
here?
think he's
I don't
drunk.
think you can be like retroactively. I'm sure the statute, if it was one of limitations for something like playing profanity over the federal airwaves.
Okay, are you drunk or not?
I feel bad for fixating on this. We can just move on.
Well,
I don't-
is he drinking or not? I want to know. Andrew, answer the
I
question.
said I plead the Fifth Amendment.
I'm gonna hang up on your ass. Okay, so I'm gonna go with yes. What type of alcohol are you drinking?
Absinthe.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. All right, moving
There's a
on.
racket on my shoulder, and I thought they always
we
called
we
that
have to
absinthe.
move on. I'm
Yeah,
s-
Andrew, we're moving on. Let's go into your conspiracy segment. Do you know how you want to start that off?
Okay, so every week, Gip's goal here is to have me do a little segment, and I did my research today. I was looking through a couple interesting things, people who had gone missing in national parks. But the main one this week I was focusing on was the supposed Aurora, Texas UFO crash of 1897. Now, witnesses say what happened was, it was, April 22nd, 1897, when all of a sudden, out of thin air, a very metallic and cigar-shaped UFO crashed into a farmer's windmill, and they ended up actually uncovering among the wreckage an alien corpse, and they ended up giving the alien corpse a Christian burial in an unmarked grave in a cemetery on the outskirts of town.
Pause real quick.
Yeah.
How is it a Christian burial if the grave is unmarked? What does that mean?
I don't know. Ask the Reverend. I'm
Wait,
not
aren't you're the
sure.
religious one? What is it? What is a Christian burial in the first place?
I want to learn this.
That's when you remember Jesus said, "Turn water to wine," and you get really hammered in homage or something.
Okay, that's not it.
What the hell just happened?
I don't know. Andrew, continue.
With the alien story,
Yes. That's
I don't know what a Christian burial is, but apparently they buried them in an unmarked grave in the town cemetery, and apparently the water from this well that was in the backyard of where the windmill was where the craft crashed, apparently the well was poisoned, so the property owner ended up having these huge bizarre engorgements on their fingers, and the theory is that the water became toxic or something from whatever metals were in the craft, that the water became contaminated. Now, based on the interview I saw with one of the grandchildren of a property owner, he was saying that the well was closed up because it had run dry, not because of any supposed poison. So that kind of debunks that. But also, they found in the space where the supposed unmarked grave was, they found the soil disruption that was consistent with that of, a grave being dug. And they're saying that the grave had collapsed. But that's obviously a different density in the soil. And, another part of, than hard soil that hadn't been tampered with. So they're saying they buried the alien there, and they had found these components still 100 years later of aluminum with a really heavy.
Wait, Andrew, shut up.
Why? You told me to do this segment, dude.
I know. Okay, you are clearly hammered. Wait, hold up. Do you have any other conspiracies?
Oh, no. He did not just spend 20 minutes explaining that one only for us to move on.
Well, I'm getting a call right now from my friend Jingy. I think we should have him weigh in. Jingy, are you there?
Hello?
Jingy, what's up?
What's up, man? How's it going?
So, Andrew just gave a long-winded alien conspiracy theory, but I'm kind of confused as to why he didn't talk about the Hillary body count at all, because that's the only conspiracy theory that matters.
I mean, it really, you're absolutely correct, Giff. It really is the only conspiracy theory that matters. And, I don't know if you should even put this on your podcast because, I don't know, I'm afraid of having a death squad sent to my house. Yeah, me too.
Why am I here?
And,
Wait, continue. But, let's expose this, man.
yeah, and I'm sure they'll classify your death as a COVID death just to inflate the numbers to make our great president look worse.
I heard that Hillary was she couldn't even see. I heard she was actually blind and that she's been.
No, well, you're almost there, but she's actually a reptile, and her entire species is blind. But when they take over the human hosts, they can see through our eyes.
Oh, okay.
I was never in control of this conversation, but it really got away from me. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I mean, I think the fact of the matter is that once the reptiles inbreed us with their host, then we kind of lose track of existentialism and our search for meaning in the universe.
All right, who's the reptile's host?
Well, let's go on. Hold on. That's why Black Lives Matter.
that follows what you said.
Who do you guys think was the better president, Donald Trump or Martin Van Buren?
Well, Van Buren, he's famous for the facial hairstyle.
Yeah, but he's also a dirty Dutchman, so I don't think we should count him.
Oh, I don't know what I can add to this.
Actually, I don't like those people. Hey, my family's from Ireland,
I think Andrew's actually really drunk.
I'm gonna guess that he is.
Andrew, do you want to tell the story about how you fell in the Potomac and got COVID-19?
Yes, away from conspiracy theories and non sequiturs. Tell us a real life story.
I like how no one actually weighed in on my actual conspiracy.
Well, I would have been happy to talk about it.
It doesn't even make it doesn't even make sense. It's not a conspiracy theory because there's not a public everything you said was just made up.
Well, no, we could call it a myth. I think
it was.
What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and a myth? So, aliens in general are myths, but Area 51.
Whoa, wait, what? What? Aliens are a myth?
Well, I mean, absolutely.
The DOD has said these craft are out here and they exist, and we don't know where the hell they came from. Google this.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on from the conspiracy theories.
I'd like to set the record straight, not about aliens. I absolutely, believe that they exist and believe in the logical probability that they exist, but they're a myth. They haven't been proven. That's all I was on about.
You have such a small mind. Google this, bro. DuckDuckGo it.
All right, yep, Gifford, go ahead. Move us right along.
Yeah, Andrew, tell us about how you fell in the Potomac, and just.
That's a hell of a segue.
Yeah, tell us the story, but try and be sober about it, because people can barely understand you right now.
Okay. The other day I was walking down the street.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna tell the story because he sounds.
It would be nice to kayak today. We could learn to work. Dude, you are slurring your speech like insane.
Can we just...
Okay, Andrew.
I had no worky. I go fall, and now I'm.
All right, hold on. Andrew, that was a good segment from you, but all right. So Andrew, who the drunken bastard you just heard rambling on line 1 there.
All right, we are all friends here.
Anyway, he got a whitewater kayak, and Alex, I don't think you've heard this story because you weren't in the group me when this happened.
True.
Okay, so Andrew got a whitewater kayak, thinking it was a regular kayak, and I'm not a huge kayaker, and I don't know who else is, but apparently whitewater kayaks are super unstable because you have to be able to turn really fast in the whitewater rapids to avoid rocks and stuff, and
I don't think unstable's the right word.
Well, they have a very high center of gravity. There's no
you need
rudder.
to have spectacular balance in order to use them as they're supposed to be
There's
used.
no rudder, so there's nothing that keeps the kayak moving in a straightward path. You're basically just supposed to use your strokes to get left to right, and the speed of the whitewater is basically what gets you going straight. But Andrew bought a whitewater kayak off Craigslist, and he took it to the Potomac River, which is a very flat, sedentary body of water. It doesn't really have any movement. It's like a lake almost, at least where he was.
It is flowing. You don't see it flowing.
Okay, whatever. And Andrew got in the kayak and went into the Potomac, and he flipped very fast.
I really wish we could have gotten that on film.
Yeah, and he was like, the kayak was so unstable, he was so unable to right himself that he basically was only saved by a passing boat, right, Andrew?
No way.
Yeah.
No, that's complete bullshit.
Well, then who saved you?
Well, you don't need to be saved. You could just flip yourself over, right? How did that go down?
Look, it was a life or death situation, Giffy. I would have left the kayak and just swam to shore. I know how to swim.
Okay.
Wait, okay, so if I'm understanding this correctly, I need to make sure. So you were in the kayak, and the kayak flipped over. So instead of, like, your head pointing skyward, it was down toward the bottom of the river.
Yeah, but I got out of the boat. I wasn't stuck in the boat.
I know, but like, how did you
when
get
I
out
retell
of
the
the
story.
how did you get out of the river? That's what I'm asking.
No, fake news. It's fake news that I was like stuck in there underwater.
How
I
did
got
you get
and
out?
it was
Can you
basically
not
like I
hear
couldn't
me?
Get the water out of the kayak, no matter how hard I tried. So this kind family, who were definitely pretty rich, came and helped right side me up.
Okay, that's what I
Went
thought.
on the merry way,
A
and then I
passing
walked
boat.
defeated to the parking garage.
A passing boat rescued you. That's what happened.
Were you wearing a helmet, Andrew?
No, I was wearing a life vest. though.
Besides
Oh
the
my
helmet that he
God.
wears every day when he leaves his house.
I should just start wearing a life vest every day.
But okay, anyway, Andrew is now the reason he's not with us, which might actually be a good thing because he sounds super drunk,
Reference that one more time. It might be funny.
is because he might have COVID, or he also might have the flu because he went swimming in the Potomac River.
I actually got the flu after swimming in the Potomac once.
Really?
It was flu-like symptoms, not
Okay.
specifically flu, maybe, but yeah, it was. I'm sure there are plenty of pollutants in there, and
Yeah.
I went swimming, got some water in my lungs for sure.
It was gross.
Ruined 4th of July for me.
Well, that's cool. But should we even talk about like my conspiracy theory?
Oh,
Garrett,
Gifford, I
It's
don't
not
know.
really a conspiracy theory, but it's kind of messed up. Should we even bring that up?
Wait, what is this? Let's talk about it. What's going on?
You can expand on this. You can expand on this.
Okay.
You know, I tried Twitter searching afterwards just to make sure no jerk at brunch was going to go and take my picture and put it on the internet for likes. But I didn't find any videos, man.
So the very day Andrew went for a little swim, 3 young Americans also lost their lives in the Potomac,
It
which
was
is
the day after, actually,
That's right.
which is horrible. But yeah.
which rest in peace to those poor
Are you
souls.
sure it was
Yeah,
Was that the
horrible.
family that was helping you get your kayak?
Yeah, that's my theory, is these people would have been saved by that family, but Andrew went swimming first, so they
Okay,
like were
there was
saving
like a
him.
48-hour difference between my morning goofiness and their late night shenanigans. Okay, it was in a different part of the river. I was in a very visible area. I mean, where there's a lot of boaters, right by the water gate and right by the Kennedy Center. A lot of people out of their boats. If I had, just been swimming around there like a moron for much longer on Saturday afternoon, they would have sent the Coast Guard to get me. But it was a different time of night. It was in a different part of the river. Like, I mean, it is weird to think about, but that's the situation.
Sounds to me like you have survivor's guilt, and you're trying to justify it away.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's
You
okay.
survived.
Yeah, it's fine.
You don't have to feel guilty.
Yeah, but what makes me special?
Alex is really not having a good time here.
I
For
just
people
don't
who-
understand the
People who
conversation.
can't see every single thing that Andrew or Jingy says. Alex is like throwing his hands up and like going like like rolling his eyes.
You got like mild exhaustion here, like
It's like he's like really not having this type of humor. I don't know. How do you want to? Do you have a direction you want to take us, Mr. Scruggs?
No. I'm happy to just pick a topic and go for it. It always throws me off,
All right.
like my game, when we're talking about something and you just say something that makes no sense.
Okay, how about this? Should dogs be able to vote? I think yes.
100%.
That's an example of saying something out of nowhere that makes no sense.
Well, you wanted a topic.
All right, I guess we could go with the topic.
All right. First of all, how will dogs vote?
Michael Vick from the College Hall of Fame.
Like just from a logistics standpoint.
Would they have to rely on their owners, or could
No.
all dogs
Dude,
vote?
that's so messed up. Like, how many times do kids just adopt their parents' political views? We have to let the dogs be independent.
It was pretty often that
We
kids
have
adopt
to-
their parents' political point of view.
Well, let the dogs out, or wonder who did it.
Garrett, I think you have some canine experience, right? What do you think?
With dogs voting, you want me to speculate on the voting habits of dogs?
Well, I mean, like,
I just want to be very clear about what you're asking me to do.
Yes.
Okay, so in general, I would say like a golden retriever, like 100%, like 90% Republican.
That's probably true.
Can you explain that? I'm actually kind of curious.
They're just. When you look at you think about a typical like
American
Republican,
Pie.
they're just gonna be this white
Has a picket fence.
blonde-haired.
Yeah, exactly.
And then so that golden retrievers would vote Republican. On the other hand, black
Because they have
labs,
long
I would
hair?
say around 90% of them would vote Democrat.
Why is that?
Oh God damn it!
Well, I thought pit bulls would vote Democrat.
What is?
Well, they would also do that as well.
What if instead of talking about that, what would they be voting on? Not just Democrat and Republican. Would we have to create new laws that would apply directly to dogs, like dog zoning laws? This is dog
I think it would mostly be local government, like zoning stuff, and they probably care about environmental stuff a lot too.
Oh, what about that? Would they be strong
Are there more
advocates?
dogs than people in America?
No,
No.
I think it's 1 to 2. I think there's like one dog for every 2 Americans.
Because they become a pretty significant
Yeah.
voting bloc.
They're doing all the work. Like, think about all the working dogs, the seeing eye dogs, and for God's sakes, if you shoot a police dog,
We definitely see.
Good boy.
if you shoot a police dog, it's murder. So I don't see how you can say that's murdering an officer, but the police dog doesn't get to vote in an election. How does that make any sense?
Well, here's an interesting fact about the amount of domesticated animals in the States, being dogs and cats. If we isolated all dogs and cats in the United States and gave them their own country, it would be the 5th most populous country in the world. That's how many animals we've domesticated.
But that includes like sheep and stuff, right?
Dogs and cats only.
Really?
Yeah, totally. Like sheep, oh man. And then forget about it with cows and chickens.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Anyway, back to dogs. What kind of laws are these dogs going to be interested in voting in anyway? They're not going to care about our regular political scandals. They're not going to care Democrat versus Republican. They want to talk about animal rights, I bet.
with animal rights, and they probably also care a lot about regulatory issues like dog food
They definitely
regulations.
want to
Huge.
repeal right to work laws.
Yeah, for sure. They want
Pro-union.
they need to. First of all, dogs need collective bargaining. Like, who asked the golden retriever who like sniffs for bombs if he wants to do that? He just has to. It's basically like slavery.
Well, no. Remember, the golden retriever was the Republican, so they just go along with what all the other
you're
golden
right.
retrievers are
They
saying.
just
anyway.
agree.
You know, the same joke can be made for the Democrats. So let's
Wait, who's the independent dog breed?
any one dog that's been like mutated so much over the years.
So
that
like
it
the
has-
mutts. The mutts are all independents.
Sure.
Who are the Howie Hawkins Green Party dogs? Oh, I know who it is. It's the dog that has like dreadlocks. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a big
mop dog.
yeah,
kind of thing?
yeah. Those dogs are definitely.
I don't know too much about dogs, so I couldn't give you
Oh.
like too many breed names.
Okay.
GIF.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you what I felt when I first saw that you were doing a podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Tell the story about CMM if you want.
No.
Wait,
Garrett's
what
talking.
story about CMM?
Just like what you told everybody and what they said.
Oh yeah, that is actually a pretty funny story. So basically, for those who don't know it, I have a mysterious liver disease
Oh.
that even doctors are completely befuddled by, and I've been to the doctor like probably 40 times within the past year.
I was wondering what was wrong with you.
They still don't know what's wrong with me. But so I messaged some of me and Gift's friends from college about the podcast. But so I basically started off. I said, like, guys, I have some absolutely horrible news, and I think it'd be good for you to hear it from me first. ... And so then, I waited like 30 seconds, and then I said, Gifford, Hampshire is starting a podcast. But they all thought that I was,
dying.
They thought that I was going to announce that I had, like, cancer or something.
And then tell the audience what they said after you said that. Were they relieved?
Then they said, that's even worse than what we thought you were going to die.
Yeah, that holds true.
Nobody's probably listening at this point.
Oh, that's okay. Look at the lawn out there. What are you thinking about this? My landlord gave us not a regular lawnmower to deal with that, but one of those eco-friendly push mowers without a motor. And so if you guys look at the backyard right now,
they can't see it.
There's so many just like random things of grass that are like tall, but just like one blade of grass and the rest of it's short.
Well, that's not even grass. That's mostly like weeds.
Yeah, it's mostly weeds. Gif, you have the biggest lawn out of anybody here. What's it like to mow that massive ass?
3
lawn?
hours, and I also do it in a 0-turn Cub Cadet with 60-inch blades.
Can you sit on that thing?
Yes.
Oh, that's something.
It's a 0-turn, so it's like the ones you see where the people. It's like basically like a recliner chair with like 2 control arms that control the speed of each wheel independently. It's like huge, and it has the biggest blades that any sort of like normal person would ever need. 60
Do you want to
inches.
trade lawnmowers? You want my little one, the push one?
If you had mine, you would spend more money maintaining the lawnmower than you would like mowing your lawn.
Could you drive your lawnmower over to my place?
No, it goes like 10 miles an hour.
I couldn't be more than 5 miles away. It'd take you a half hour.
I don't know where I would go. I would have to drive on like the shoulder of Fairfax County Parkway.
You could mow all the lawns as you get
I could like pretend that I'm like an industrial mower for like the county vest. And just like use it to mow like the shoulder all the way here. I guess I could do that.
The thing about mowing my lawn is it's not bad. It takes about 5 minutes. I don't need to put headphones on or anything. I don't get bored. It just looks awful. And you can't get the sides or anything, so I've got a fence in the backyard, and as the grass gets up to the fence, it's cropping up. I'm thinking about just burning the whole thing. We don't even have to worry about it. It'll be a big mud patch.
You should have like a huge like pool party with like one of those inflatable pools.
They had a pool party a couple weeks ago. My other roommates, there's an inflatable pool.
Yeah, but we should instead get super hammered and like trash the backyard. Like just get mud everywhere, rip up all the grass. You know what I mean?
I guess I do have to live here, of course. So if the yard's gonna be de-grass, it has to be tastefully done.
What? How do you tastefully degrass a yard? That doesn't make sense.
Well, no, that's a thing, right? It's some kind of an agricultural technique. You have to pull up grass.
You don't. So you're just gonna pull it all up? You said you wanted to burn it down.
Yes, I did say that, didn't I?
Turn it into like a. I'm
sorry. That was just a moment of hot anger about the horrible lawnmower my landlord dumped on us.
Alex, why don't you talk about your sexual adventures?
What a segue.
You know, sometimes Gif, I'm real confused about the way you choose to moderate the show, and sometimes I think it's actually pretty funny.
Well, okay, which one was that?
I enjoyed that.
That was funny. All right, well,
right out of nowhere. We had been boring enough for a long enough time that it was time to just.
We're talking about mowing grass.
I wanted to like talk about something and just stick with it instead of like non sequitur. I'm just like, I don't care what we're talking about. It just proved that we can have a conversation.
Non-sequiturs are what the people like.
All right.
Do you think first of all, do you think anybody will masturbate to this show?
Aside from all of us?
Yes.
Right now?
No, like when it comes out.
No, I mean aside from us masturbating right now.
Right.
Anyway, you wanted to know what sex was it, Gifford?
Your exploits. Why don't you talk about what just happened to you the other weekend or this weekend?
Oh yeah. Oh, I was visiting a friend from college, and we ended up hooking up, and she got really deep into daddy play. She wanted to call me daddy.
Oh,
and
no.
I mean, you know, everybody does a little role playing here and there, but I've never seen someone so into their role just wanting to please their daddy.
Oh God.
Oh, it was awesome.
I'm gonna throw up.
Is this a bit, or did this actually
No, this
happen?
Oh yeah,
happens.
it really happened.
Just talking about it.
It's not something that I would be interested in like just doing over and over again, but I'll try anything once, and that was fun to try.
Well, would you try blood play once?
We've already been there and answered that.
No, we haven't.
Bestiality?
The audience wants to know.
No, there was this one time, it was years ago now, where it was a Tinder hookup, and we didn't know each other or anything, but, you know, she's over, we're getting into the heavy petting portion of it, and she stops it, and she's like, hey, listen, I know we don't know each other, but there's, like, something I'm kind of interested in, and if you're not interested in it, it's cool, but do you know what blood play is? What's Garrett? What's your first thought when you hear blood play in a bedroom setting? What are you thinking?
It had, to me, like, and this is just disgusting, and I'm almost even puking.
Oh, we're not
It's when
judging.
You cut, like, some portion of your body to make blood come out, and then you use that as lube?
Yeah, kind of. Actually,
That's
you're
almost
way,
it.
Yeah, you're way closer to the mark than I was. I thought she was on her period and just it's period sex, and I was just gonna be like, oh, okay,
That's
whatever.
well, that's just that.
Well, no, it was exactly that. She was like, okay, we go downstairs to the kitchen and we get a knife and I cut you a little bit, or you could cut me. Either way. She's like being real cool about it, and she's like, and we just rub the blood around on each other while we have sex.
I am disgusted, and
Every day
That's
we
insane.
every day we stray farther and further from God's will.
What God?
That just makes me incredibly sad. That's the thing in this world.
Remember when I said I'd
people
try
do.
anything once?
He didn't try it.
Yeah.
But you should have.
Well, it's my biggest regret. Like, I say now that I'd try anything once, but, like, when do you think I will ever have the opportunity to do that with someone again?
You should
Never.
You should try Craigslist.
Oh, you know they don't do that anymore. You can't solicit sex on Craigslist anymore.
What?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought this
what?
was America.
Yeah, it was like a year or two they stopped it. It was like a big deal. It's because that's how a lot of sex trafficking got around.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
Or got exploited.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I don't know anybody who used it for that though, but like sometimes like just for fun, like you get your friends together and be like, oh, let's see what's going on Craigslist. And like
Yeah.
I remember in the lunchroom in high school we'd do that. Like, oh, this guy, he's a man and another man seeking a woman. Oh, what are they gonna do to her? Oh, that's it's just fun to look at that shit.
What we would always do is we would just get on a Omegle, and that was like always the weirdest.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what you do when
It's-
you're going about your life like normal, and you realize you haven't seen a lot of penises recently, so you go on Omegle. Is that what you guys were thinking?
Oh, that's 100% our thought process, and we would just go on there, and it would be just every other one would be a dude jacking off. It was a pretty wild time.
What made
And
you
we
want to
just thought
go
that
on
was
and
the funniest thing.
what made you want to go on and do this though? Well, not jack off. I mean, but just watch other people jack off.
I mean, we didn't really.
No. Don't try to defend it because you knew exactly what you were getting into. You knew that when you went on there, you'd see a bunch of people jacking off.
How do they
That
even?
is true.
How does that
but
even work?
You'd also get on there and talk to people sometimes. So we would end up talking to like really like weird people across the country, and we were all very. I don't know. It was weird. It was just one of those things that like as a teenager you look back on and you're
Yeah.
like that was strange.
I guess
I
we
should not
probably
have done that.
we all remember doing, Omegle or chat roulette at some point. But could you just explain the premise of it, just so that we have context here?
The what?
Like what is Omegle?
Oh, Omegle? It's basically like chat roulette. You just get it's like you basically can chat with people through your webcam, and it's like random every time. So you can just press a button, and you get connected to a random person on the other line.
Yeah, and a lot of
And there's a lot of old men jerking off on it.
So Garrett, this is what I don't understand. How do you even hold? Like, I don't want to get too like graphic here, but
No,
like,
let's get nitty gritty.
how do you even hold an erection? Like, how does that? I guess people are just sick, man. Like, it doesn't make any
if
sense.
If you're like an exhibitionist, or
Yeah.
or if you're like a complete like pedophile,
Yeah.
you're gonna go on there and like
Right.
in the small chance that like there is like an underage girl.
No.
on the
Don't say
other
small
end.
chance. We're talking about all of us in high school doing this. There's a huge chance that you'd hit up an underage girl and
Yeah.
start jacking off on there.
If you're on
It's a
there,
horrible
if you're
website.
clicking on there long enough, you're gonna find
Yeah,
it.
it's a wonder like how that is still a thing.
Right.
When that's like how is that allowed to exist?
Well, we have.
And why was I allowed to get on it at like when I was like 14?
Do you think what's Nicolas Cage deserves an Oscar for his work in The Wicker Man? I think he does.
You know what? If we're gonna talk Wicker Man, I only
careful.
want to talk 1973. Edward
No.
Woodward and Christopher Lee. This is
Christopher Lee's
yeah,
in that?
absolute cult classic. Lord Summer Isle, played by
Is
Christopher
it really
Lee.
a cult classic if they made a remake?
Well, the remake doesn't count. We just pretend like it doesn't exist.
And
is
then
how
they
we-
also made like a second fake remake, which was Midsummer, basically.
Oh no, that's just another cult movie.
I don't know. I love A24, but I think they're getting way too popular to be considered independent anymore. You know what I mean?
I couldn't say about that. I'm sure I would respect your opinion.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong.
For context, though, of course, A24 is the studio that brings to us a lot of independent horror movies these
You've
days,
seen The Witch,
including Midsummer,
Heredity, Midsummer,
Hereditary.
The Lighthouse, The Green Room,
Oh, The Green Room was phenomenal.
Uncut Gems with
Adam Sandler.
yeah. Then what else did I just? Oh, Ghost Story. I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't heard of that one.
It looks really culty, like cult classic-y, not like a cult movie.
What's the premise?
It's like they have some guy dress up as, like, he has the most generic ghost costume. It's like a bed sheet.
A sheet with two holes.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like supposed to be like this woman's this widow's husband who died, and he's like he's like sticking around, but it's just shots of him walking around with this bed sheet on and stuff. It looks kind of weird.
Yeah, it sounds really weird.
But yeah, I don't know. Garrett,
But it sounds good, you're saying?
No, I kind of like wanted to get into it because it was A24, but it looked even way too weird to get into.
What's an A24 movie that you don't like?
The Swiss Army Knife Man.
Oh,
That's with what's his name? Who plays Harry Potter?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, it's with him, and he like this guy is stranded on is on an island, and this Daniel Radcliffe's dead body washes up ashore, and this guy like finds out his body has magical powers and can do anything.
What?
Yeah. So he like sits on his back and like punches him in the face, and his butt turns into a motor of farts, and he like uses his body as like basically like a motorboat to get to another island.
Like on the one hand, I'm thinking like, what the hell? And on the other hand, I'm thinking like, why would you not like that movie? That
It's
sounds
horrible.
incredible.
It's just too much. There's no plot. It's
Did
like
you go into it thinking it was going to be a seriously done A24 movie, and you got
no,
a
but
motorboat fart?
I went into it thinking it would be entertaining, and it was just not.
Or was he using a spell for the motorboat fart?
No, it wasn't like by magical powers. I just mean like this guy.
It's Harry Potter we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it would be like it's so predictable. You know, like okay,
No, it's not. You can't predict
okay.
that.
The movie is called The Swiss Army Knife Man, and everybody who
that's kinda clever.
has seen a preview, so they know what it's about. This guy can do whatever he needs, whatever he wants, right?
Interesting.
So, like, you know, okay, this guy needs to get to that other island. Okay, he's probably going to use his body as a boat. And then he spends, like, 10 to 15 minutes trying to figure out how to use his body as a boat. And then he uses his body as a boat. And
the movie's over.
in the next scene, he's like, oh, I need to figure out how to cut this wood. And you're like,
Can't
okay.
he just use the body as a boat and, like, fuck off back to the
I
States or
don't
something?
know. It's
Wait,
like,
you saw it. What do you mean? Why could he not have done that?
I was so bad I had to stop. And I am
Oh.
not picky. Like, I won't stop watching movies, even if they suck. And I stopped. It was that bad, so.
That reminds me of this awesome Stephen King short story called Survivor Type about a heroin smuggler washed up on a tiny little rocky island that you could walk around in about 5 minutes. It's just rock and a bunch of seagulls in the middle of nowhere. And after a while, the dude just starts eating his limbs. It was
nice.
awesome. It just makes me think, like, if Daniel Radcliffe rolled up there, he'd have no trouble.
Yeah.
But he just did heroin and ate himself, and that was the whole story.
And he died there, obviously.
He did die there, yeah.
Why didn't he just eat one of his limbs?
Well, it just time keeps going by. Like, he gets starving again. He's like he cuts like a finger off, he eats it. Then he cuts his hand off, he eats it. Then like 2 days goes by. He's like, oh, do more heroin and cut off a little bit more of my arm. It just keeps going like that.
I would just kill myself at that point.
I don't remember why he didn't.
I
bet he would if he didn't have the heroin.
You get to like the third limb and you're like, oh, I should still do this and not just OD on heroin. Yeah, how does he
just ruined the story for me?
Sorry.
Why didn't he do? I'm sure he's kind of clever. He probably put some kind of a failsafe in
he's
there.
not that clever. He's a great writer.
He's clever enough that someone as clever as you could not undermine a story like that so easily.
Well, okay. Have you seen In the Tall Grass?
Have I seen In the Tall Grass?
Yeah, the movie.
We're talking about Stephen King, the writer, not Stephen King, the writer who gets his stories adapted to bullshit movies.
Well, did you not like the adaptation?
I didn't see it.
All right.
No, I'm just making the point that we're talking about writing. We're talking about prose, and we're not talking about horrible movies.
Anybody on the phone? Have you guys seen any movies recently?
Yeah. Has anyone on the phone seen a movie?
I don't know about Andrew, but I have seen a movie before.
You guys go.
I've seen one of them moving pictures. Yes.
Wait, Andrew, how drunk are you? Now I'm on board. What just happened? Was that slurred? That was one long slur?
Dude, he's been doing this the whole time. He's like really fucked up.
I can talk a normal sentence, it's fine.
Andrew, how many beers?
Oh no, I sound fine.
Like, if anyone actually listens to this and hears like this far into it, I honestly have to question their mental sanity.
Get off the toilet.
Yeah, if you're listening to this right now, and I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm saying right now, get your life together. What are you doing? This is a mistake that you're making right now.
All right. Hold on. No, we've got good chit chat going here. There's some material.
It's all right.
There has been some okay material.
It's gonna need a lot of editing. A lot.
Yeah, it's gonna need a lot of editing.
Play the
and
biggest joke on any listener, and just don't edit it at all. Just put the whole thing up there. Like, deal with this yourself.
That would be the most disastrous option ever.
So the explosion or whatever in Azerbaijan, in Lebanon. Sorry.
God, you don't even know geography, Giff.
I just want to say that there's been this meme. It's not really a meme, but it's like a viral image that's gone around where I live and Alex lives, of like it's basically like just a geographic picture of DC with the DC restricted airspace circle, which goes from basically Northern Virginia all the way up to Southern Maryland in a circle, and it includes like Fairfax County, it includes Montgomery County. It's like pretty big. And people have just put that on Instagram and said, this is the size of the explosion in Lebanon, and if you're inside the circle, your windows would have gotten blown out. And it's just a complete effing lie.
Well, that could be true. The bombs, they really fuck up windows miles away.
The windows only exploded 1.6 miles away from the explosion. That's a fact.
Funny.
The New York Times reported that.
And so this is just classic social media people.
Yeah, and it's just so annoying. Like, people, like, I'm not to get political, but people are always talking about how, like, I'm very left, and I think everybody would agree. But people are always saying about how the right is, like, always talking about, like, fake facts, and they're not researching their stuff, and they're just spouting BS. This is a complete BS.
Yes, I can testify.
Go on Twitter and like just look at like the insane sort of crap that gets posted there every day. There's an insane amount of misinformation.
The message is good. Like, yeah, we should help these people. We should donate. Don't put up a fake news viral image. That just makes me mad. Like, just put up something that is truthful.
It doesn't help the cause. Absolutely. It makes you look so discredible.
Yeah.
I deleted my accounts for that very reason. Although I do still have my Facebook. And speaking of people putting out information that is just so false, I'm in this hysterical Facebook group that used to be a meme stash for Bernie Sanders, but after he went to support Biden, it just turned into just a non-Bernie, just all like socialist bullshit, like not even memes, just like people talking. And every once in a while, like I'll say something on there, like I'll have a question about this or that.
Tell them about when you sided with that band. What are they called?
The Beatles? Or
No.
Pantera?
Yeah. Well, first of all, what did the Beatles do?
Oh yeah. Oh, so John Lennon, he was a pretty abusive husband, and the other Beatles members knew about it, and so that's the problem they took.
They should
with
be
the Beatles.
canceled for that.
Yeah, so they're trying to
basically.
cancel the Beatles, and I'm like, I like the Beatles. I think they have phenomenal music. They changed music forever, and I got shut down.
Well, John Lennon also was murdered, so maybe we could cut his legacy. Well, I don't know, but can't we just call it even? Like the dude.
No, that's not how it works.
He paid for his crimes.
Oh, he didn't pay. The crimes for me had nothing to do with it. He didn't pay for his crimes by getting shot in the back.
He did.
No, the Beatles' music, it changed music forever. And I think that even if it didn't, it's damn good music. Yeah. And I don't mind separating music from the people who make the music.
Well, I think you have to in this day and age. Like Michael Jackson.
That's a good example.
Are you telling me you're not going to listen to Thriller ever again? Give me a break,
Michael
man.
Jackson's classic hits. I don't like anyone going around touching little boys, but I love Michael Jackson's music.
Sorry, I was laughing at the second part, I promise.
Well, and it's the same. Are you never going to listen to Tekashi 6ix9ine again? I mean, he's a classic artist, one of the greatest of our generation.
Nice
and
try.
You're telling me you're going to not listen and support him because he messed with a 13-year-old? Like, come on, guys.
No, the same thing happened to me again very recently on the Facebook group where somebody posted a meme about cops, and it was like, look at this cop. It was just like a fake, like a cartoon cop, and it was just explaining like what it takes to be a cop, like beat your wife, this, bad judgment, like Pantera. And I go to the comment section, I'm like, I put I like Pantera with a cry face, and I got like 100 comments coming after me, like people posting pictures of Dimebag Darrell with a Confederate flag guitar and all that. Like, how could you listen to this band if they have a Confederate flag guitar? And I'm thinking like, yeah, absolutely.
Wait, the guy's name is Dimebag Darrell?
Yeah, well, it's a stupid name, but he's a phenomenal guitarist. And not to the same degree that the Beatles changed music, but he revolutionized heavy metal guitar playing.
Yeah.
He's a big deal. But I was like, I can separate the music from the people, can't I?
Well,
it feels bad defending myself because I absolutely don't want anybody sprouting out a Confederate flag anywhere, much less on stage.
Well, okay, do you think that Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame, Garrett?
100%, man.
Yeah, me too.
He only bet on himself, right?
Yeah.
Or on other games. He never bet. He never threw a game.
He never bet on himself, right?
Yeah, and as a gambling addict myself, if I were a professional baseball player, I wouldn't be able to give up gambling.
Well, I mean, look at Michael Jordan. He didn't take 2 years off of basketball because he wanted to try baseball. He took 2 years off of basketball because the commissioner told him, you can take 2 years off or we can release this shit about your gambling problem.
Games, yeah.
So, and he got special credit because he was the best basketball player ever. I think a lot of people would argue that Pete Rose is probably one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Oh, for sure, man.
So,
for sure.
I don't know.
I think it's really messed up that he isn't in the Hall of Fame.
But I mean, also, who really cares? I never have really understood the fascination with sports Hall of Fames. You know what I mean?
I don't understand
like Rock and Roll
the
Hall
ones,
of Fame where it's just
yeah, it's basically
subjective
that.
as hell?
Yeah, basically.
They're subjective, but there's so much history, at least certainly in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Right.
Because that's dating back to the friggin' 1870s.
Right. The baseball.
Immediately the post-Civil War era.
The modern era of baseball started in the 1800s. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty wild.
Alex, what was that guy you were talking about today via text message?
Oh, Jonas?
Is that a real person?
Yeah. So did you meet him or not?
No. I feel like you're making this up.
Yeah, that dude was crazy. He made his own furniture, but he used all unmodified recycled newspaper. He just roll up newspaper real tight.
You're definitely making
make
this
his own
up.
furniture.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, it was crazy, dude. That guy. He would play the board game Shoots and Ladders, but he had some kind of way of fixing it. He always won. Every single ladder was his. Never
What?
hit a shoot.
You're not. This is some sort of bit.
No, like that.
This
dude
is a
real.
bit.
No.
What's this about him shaving
Man,
his toes?
He used to work on snowmaking machines at a ski resort. Yeah, dude was crazy. Old Johannes, he's a crazy dude. He used to listen to nothing but Paula Abdul. I couldn't believe his playlists. I think she wrote straight up about him, of course.
This is a bit, right?
No. Dude is legendary. Has a tattoo of a starfish, but the starfish has a tattoo of a crab. Dude's nuts. Yeah, he used to work for a landscaping company.
For the audience who can't see, I'm like literally moving my head back and forth in disbelief. I don't really.
Yeah, dude, he used to work for a landscaping company, but he had some kind of like I don't know, like some kind of a health thing where he was like allowed to not use any power tools. So the other people working on the lawn would be cruising around with lawnmowers and edgers. He'd have like little scissors and he'd just be cutting the grass. He was crazy. Yeah, Johannes, I couldn't believe that, man.
He's shaved his toes.
Yeah, he shaved all the time, but only his toes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to work down there at the seafood wharf. He used to be the guy who count the fish.
What do you mean count the fish?
Yeah, the fish came in on the boats, he'd count them. Yeah, he smelled like him,
What do you mean the guy though? There isn't a guy
The guy, the Johannes, he'd count the fish.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't work for anybody. He'd just count them and then go home.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody for coming on, Alex.
It's been a pleasure. I look forward to next week.
Andrew, are you still there?
10-4, good buddy.
Okay, he's still there. And Garrett. Oh, I mean Jingy. And
Whatever.
Jingy.
Everyone's been calling me Garrett this entire time. It doesn't matter.
I didn't understand where Jingy came from.
It was his alias.
Nobody explained that to me.
Well, that's the point. It's an alias. It's not supposed to be explained.
Oh, okay.
And we're done. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. We had a great time. I know it was a lot, but, we really appreciate you listening. We talked about a lot of things in this podcast. Dog voter rights, how to cut grass.
Movies. Talked about movies for a while.
Oh, yeah, movies.
Yeah, Johannes really appreciates everyone's listenership.
The legend. So, funny story. While we were recording this podcast, you may have noticed me and Alex and Garrett alluding to how drunk Andrew was the whole time. Well, literally right now, as we're recording this, we have learned that Andrew wasn't drunk. And it makes sense because Andrew had just taken a COVID test a couple days ago because he was feeling sick.
Yesterday.
So why would you be drinking when you might have COVID? Well, Andrew wasn't drunk. He had carbon monoxide poisoning. His house had a carbon monoxide leak, and he was hallucinating. And
he was saying a lot of weird stuff the whole time. There's a huge amount of unused audio of Andrew just going on and on and on about stuff that doesn't make any sense. And now it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But Andrew seems to be okay. He's on the way to the hospital.
And as soon as we're done recording this, going to go visit him.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around. And I promise you, we're telling the truth. Like, we wouldn't lie about this. It's just kind of crazy. But yeah, anyway, if you want to help me out, please leave some feedback. Tell me what you like, what you didn't like. Give me advice, anything to help the podcast grow. My only goal is for people to listen to it. And for that to happen, I need you guys to give me feedback. I also need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and just spam it, like click it, unclick it, click it, unclick it. Do that like a couple, as many times as you want. Let's inflate these numbers. And thank you guys so much. Intro music, we had Liquid TV, Jake Two Pitz's band. Outro music, we got Alex playing a riff on the guitar, followed by some didgeridoo music from Australia.
You have to credit the Aboriginal tribe, Gifford.
I don't know which one it is, but the YouTube video had a picture of Ayers Rock. So we'll have another podcast about your trip there. Anyway, thank you guys so much again. And yeah, any advice you have, my number. If you don't, my social media is at TheGiff, TheGiff _ on Instagram. Shoot me a DM, and thank you guys so much again. Have a great night.
Boom.